Hello, welcome to lesson 5 of making pictures. Our substrand for today is mixing and application. Before we move on to mixing and application, a quick recap of what we learned last week. 1. How will you describe primary colors? And 2. How many primary colors do we have? And the final one, we are to name them. So when we talk of primary colors are colors which is said to be the mother of all colors. Aside that, they cannot be obtained by mixing any other colors, but instead, we mix primary colors in obtaining other colors as well. And so far, we have 3 main primary colors. These are red, yellow, and blue. These are the primary colors. Let's now move on to some few color mixing videos and find out what color mixing and application is all about. Let's now observe the video, and after observing the video, we will discuss what the video entails. And I want you to observe the video carefully, especially the colors the artist used, whether he mixed some colors or not. And after all these, what color did he use as his finishing color? All these are some of the simple questions we'll be asking ourselves after observing or watching the video carefully. Alright, so the artist is almost done with his painting. What a nice artwork, of course. So let's now move on to our discussion. The first question is, how many colors did the artist use? So if we are to go back to the video, how many colors can you tell me that he used for his painting? So let's take a critical look at the painting or the artwork once more. And as we observe it, we can now come out with the number of colors that he used. So far, we can identify blue, we can identify deep green, we can also identify light green. We can see off-white in it, and one of the colors which he used as his finishing work is deep green and at the same time white as a whole. So all these are some of the colors the artist used in making his artwork. The next question, did the artist used or mix any other colors to obtain others? Yes, the artist did this by mixing some colors to obtain other kind of colors. So the final one, let's observe the video again and see if indeed the artist mixed some colors or not. Good. So this is where the artist mixed white to that of green just to reduce the intensity of the color in order to speak volume or to emphasize on a good point at where the artist wants to paint. So this tells you and I that the artist mixed some other colors in order to obtain certain tonation to lay emphasis on some point which he wants it to speak, especially when watching it carefully. So we are done with our first video. Let's now move on to video number 2.
Hi guys, I'm just going to run through some tips and some information about painting your ice cream template here with the primary colours. Now, as we know, the primary colours are red, blue and yellow. They're known as the primary colours because these are the colours that all other colours start from. So you can't mix any two colours together to make red, blue or yellow. But what you're going to find out later is you can use all of these colours to mix others, like the secondary and tertiary colours. So what we're going to do to start off with, I'm just going to pop that out of the way, is we're going to make sure we have a clean brush and we've got our paint ready, okay? So when you wash your brush, guys, at any point in time, the best way to do it is to make sure you're holding onto the water pot with one hand, preferably on the surface of the table, and I want you to push down and spin your brush around and around in there. Okay, push it down and make sure you've got no paint or glue or anything like that in there. And then we pull it out and we just brush it on the side. The reason we don't tap is because it creates splashes and mess. So the first colour I think you should start with on your template, and there's no particular way I want you to paint this. The only rules are I want you to try and stay in the lines, and I only want you to use the primary colours. And the first colour I think we should start with is yellow, and that's because that's the lightest colour. And once we wash our brush, it might get a little bit messy, and the yellow might turn to another colour because it's a really light colour and it likes to take on the colours of other colours is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so you'll see what I'm doing here is I'm painting every second section of this ice cream yellow. Now what I'm doing is I'm not picking up too much paint because we don't want our work to end up soggy. And what I'm doing is I'm using smooth brush strokes, okay, to try and stay within the lines. So I've painted that yellow. I want a few more yellow spots, I reckon. I think what I might do is paint the bottom of this ice cream yellow too. So when you get to the edge, just be careful not to go outside the lines as much as you can. Use the tip of your brush if you need to get in too close up to those lines. And just take your time, okay? Remember what I said before about not using too much paint because we don't want it to become wet and soggy. Alright, I'm just about done here. So what I want to do is wash my brush. Remember, holding on with one hand, stirring around, pressing down at the bottom until my brush is nice and clean. And then I wipe. If there's still too much water in there, what you can do is just squeeze it over the top of your water pot, okay, which is what I'm doing off screen now. Next, I'm going to choose blue, okay. I might do the top of this one blue. Remembering, nice, smooth brush strokes. Sorry, I'm going off camera. You might need to hold your paper still with your other hand. Okay. Now, we don't want these colours to mix here because otherwise we'll accidentally make a secondary colour. Does anyone know what blue and yellow make? It's alright if you don't know, I'm going to teach you that. Okay. Got blue here. There we go. I've gone out the lines a little bit. Don't worry too much because we are going to cut them out later. And I might do this one blue, hey? Might do the outsides of this one blue. Like this. So I'm pushing down on my brush to get a nice, clean, smooth brush stroke. I don't push too hard because I don't want to ruin the brush. Okay. But that definitely helps with making a nice, straight, smooth line when you do press down. Okay. There we go. And the last colour I'm going to use is my red. So I'm going to wash my brush. Watch what colour the water turns. There's a little hint about what blue and yellow make. Make sure it's nice and clean. Wipe, wipe, wipe. make sure there's no blue left. And my last colour is red. Now, nice, slow, smooth brush strokes using the tip of my brush in those corners when it gets a bit small, that area we're painting. Okay, if you need a smaller brush, you might need to do that as well. If you've got a really big clunky brush, it won't be any good for painting those fine details, will it? Nice, smooth brush strokes. Last one over here. Now you'll notice that I haven't painted the sticks of the ice creams, and that's because we'll colour those ones in, maybe with some pencil or crayon later when this is all dry. The other thing we'll do when this is all dry, excuse the banging in the background, the other thing we'll do when this is all dry is we're going to cut out our ice creams and we're going to stick them on a special background that we're going to create next time with another group of colours called the secondary colours. So there you go, guys. We've got 3 ice creams all painted with the primary colours. Nice and neat. I took my time. Remember, I used the tip of my brush when the space I was painting got small. Okay, and I pressed down on my brush to create those nice, smooth brush strokes. Alright, make sure you've got an art smock on. Make sure that when you wash your brush, you don't tap it. Okay, good luck.
Good luck to you too. So, we just observed the final video. In this very video, the artist used only 3 colors to do the painting. So these 3 colors are considered as the primary colors. These include red, yellow, and blue. So back to some of the questions we used to discuss the first video. Did the artist missed any other colors to obtain some colors? The answer is no. Simply because the artist in the second video did not mix any colors to obtain other colors. So the artist laid emphasis on 3 main colors which are considered as the primary colors. Now our homework for today. We are to watch video 2 again and produce a prototype of it. So this is video 2. What we need to do here is that the outline of the shapes we see on the paper or on the screen, we are going to draw the same thing in our sketchbooks or on our A3 or A4 papers. After that, let's observe the colors the artist used in the video and do the same thing in our sketchbooks or on A3 or A4 papers. Then the second instruction says we are to use water-based paint. An example of a water-based paint is a poster color for painting this particular work. So this time around, we are not looking at pencil colors or crayon. Our emphasis here is on painting, and therefore we want water-based paint. Aside poster color, one can also use acrylic paint to do this work. Then the last instruction says you are to produce your own artwork on any of the following material. We have sketchbook or sketchpad, A3 or A4 paper. After everything, send your answers to email sagacious59@gmail.com or through my WhatsApp number 0240-900-650. Next on Creative Art Time, we will now move on to mosaic picture work. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at One Sagacious. All these videos, all these learning, all these painting, all these procedures, you can get it there. We are done for today. Stay blessed and have a wonderful day. Bye for now.